Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a Legacy of the Void cast. This here is on Ruins of Endion, spawning down here in the bottom left from PSISTM Gaming. It is the Red Zerg True.
And in the bottom right-hand corner from Next Gaming, the blue Protoss player, it is DominiC. I'm toasted, by the way, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen. My name is Storrm. I'm here with my co-caster, Snack. How are you doing today, Snack?
I'm a very toasty snack.
That is good.
I'm assuming that's a good thing. Yeah.
I would say so.
Uh-huh. Alright, so, you see coming out so far in this game, DominiC's walling off on the bottom part of the ramp, which is something that not every Protoss likes to do, but it's still viable on some of these maps. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for Cybercore soon, so he'll be pretty safe. Good for him.
Right.
Yeah.
I would say it's something that's a little more tricky to pull off because you have to line it up just right. But if done right, it is definitely a very, very powerful wall off and safe.
Most certainly. So you see the Nexus coming down for him before Cybercore, so I incorrect. Whoops. And True's going to be going for a gas before Pool. So he'll get speed out fairly quickly. We'll be able to scout his opponent a little more quickly as well. Just to see what's going on.
Right, and this Overlord for True is going to come in. He's going to see that there is nothing here just next to the Nexus. He's going to end up scouting down here. He won't see that the wall off is on the high ground. He will see it was a pretty safe second early expand, and he will actually take his fast third right before his natural finishes. And he actually pulls completely out of gas.
Yeah, that Overload was really to just see if there's a lot of hyper aggression coming in, because we see there was no drone scout. So now that he sees like the walls on the low ground, he's got to be doing something fairly conservative. So he can take a third. He doesn't need gas or too much gas right now to defend against some hyper aggression. So he should be feeling pretty comfortable right now at this position. Right.
And I wouldn't be surprised to actually see a heavy Queen style out of True.
It's very common on this map in comparison to others, just because the rush distance and the collapsible rocks.
Right, and it's also
Queen
something.
Drop possibilities.
It's also something that at Home Story Cup, True said that he was a big fan of Queens.
Queens are a fun unit. I must say,
so.
Going back to my Zerg days, they're fun, man.
Right, and they have a high. They have a high skill cap as well for the transfusions.
For sure. Mm-hmm.
This probe is just going to get chased down here.
Oh, decided that he wanted to be valiant, fight for his honor. It was probably one of the worst decisions of his life.
Yeah, and it looks like DominiC's going to actually play this really safe because he's going to knock down these rocks with the photon overcharge.
Yep, alright, so you should be able to take a nice, safe third base, going into a fourth base as well if he wants to take that kind of early on. He's going for the Robo play, so he won't be going for an Oracle, which is fairly common on this map. So, very conservative, yet again.
Yeah, and he actually already has the... Yeah, he has the Warp Prism, and while he was building the robotics facility, he already had it queued up, or rallied, rather, across the map. So it looks like he's going to go for some early pressure with possibly Adepts.
Ooh, but True scouts the Robo and Necrono on the Robo as well, so I would imagine he knows that something's up. He also counts the gateways, and there's 4 of them, so...
Yeah, and he drops an Evo Chamber and a Baneling Nest at this time.
Okay. That's totally understandable. He's got a Ling just kind of poking at the destructible rocks of Dom as well. And True scouts the third, so he's seen everything that DominiC has right now.
Yeah, so he knows it's not going to be a 2-base all-in, so he can, you know, he's not going to overdo it as far as his Lings and Banelings that he creates.
Yeah, but he still has to take this pretty seriously. We see 8 Adepts already in the main base. True scouts it with his Overlord, but 8 Adepts is nothing to fool around with, especially when all you have to defend is Lings. We see the Adepts trying to shade out into the natural. They're getting surrounded in the main base, but most of them still survive and get into the natural base. They get a nice spot between the mineral patches, and they'll just keep shading around, but they should die here for the most part.
Right. And he'll get into the third, but with these lings here, it looks like he's already going to be able to clean this up. Warp Prism still hasn't gone down, but no reinforcements have come out. With True having all these lings now, and +1, it looks like he's going to go for some kind of aggression here on the opposite side of the map. There's the Dropper Lords, or Dropper Lord, rather.
Yeah, Bane Rain is fun, man. He's got 3 Banelings loaded up. I would be a little hard-pressed, or a little upset to see if he just doesn't use those in the Overlord, because it's so fun to drop Baneling.
Right, and he's actually going to force out these Photon Overcharges as well. Some extra gates coming down.
Yeah, he will need the extra gates, because he sees how many lings there are on the map. You can't just kind of sit down and hunker, take a 4th, like I was mentioning earlier. Oh, and the Bane Rain comes down on the 3rd base.
Pretty good amount actually goes down, but it looks like it's just going to be... It's going to move on to the next base, which is really what's going to be critical. I think this will actually end up going down, though. Yeah. True takes his 4th.
There is another Dropper Lord outside of the main base for when True wants to go in. So that could do a significant amount of damage. It's kind of nice seeing that there are 2 Zerglings and 3 Banelings instead of just 4 Banelings, though.
Right, because they get to clean up.
Yeah, they clean up if you only hit all the probes with 1 Baneling instead of 2, or you just kind of mess up, or the Banelings wander.
No, this is going to be that where DominiC looks like he's going to try and force a lot of aggression here or a lot of defense here from True, because he has these sentries, and what these sentries more than likely are going to do is they're going to try and wall off this natural ramp, the ramp to the natural. Yeah, so that True only can defend with what he has in the main base, which is very dangerous on this map. He has a lot of lings here. I don't think, yeah, he can't see this because just outside of his vision range.
Yeah, this is evil. This is pulling a Soul Train move. Kind of an older...
He sees it now. He's going to pull everything back immediately, which it should come back in time. Well, no, it won't.
Yeah, this isn't good. Now another Warp End of Sentries comes in. The magic number is 5, so now he can just sit here and force field the ramp forever and ever until True gets enough reinforcements in the main base.
And he's already morphing Dropper Lords as well.
Yeah, well, I guess that's his best option here, is to just try to make an elevator play, but these sentries are trying to target it down. Some lings will end up getting in, and the Dropper Lord from the main base actually comes back. He should be able to defend this now.
Right, it's still going to have a lot of economic damage done on this main base, with about, I believe this is 10, no, that's 11, plus another 2, 3, and some sentries that are still in the main, so a lot of damage. This many lings could, with this spread, possibly take these out, but just based on upgrades alone, he is ahead +1 to no upgrades, and his +2 is about to finish as well for melee.
Yes, and it looks like he's just gearing up for a giant push once he cleans up these adepts here. So we have some in the 3rd base, but the Warp Prism's already started to go home. These adepts will die. They're not even going to bother to shade again. And now this Hydraling Bane Force is kind of something scary and something to be reckoned with for sure, because if we look at the... Where are the armies here? What am I doing? 48 to 38 army supply.
With 8 lurkers on the way, as well as, yeah, there's just 3 overlords. 20, 30 lings now. This is about to become a very, very dangerous force with the army supply actually like skyrocketing to 77 to 48, whereas True went up about 30. Dom only went up about 15. So he's gonna get shoved away here. But these lurkers are gonna do a lot of damage, not only to these rocks, but the stalkers that are reinforcing. And there are storms, I believe. Yeah, storm is on the way. So storms are not completely finished yet. And I don't see, is there an overlord? There is no vision currently. There's no detection. It's on the way. It's about 75% of the way done, but it currently can't do anything against these lurkers.
Yeah, and this unit comp doesn't do very well against lurkers. He has storms, which will take care of the lynx and the hydras pretty handily, but he has nothing to take care of the lurkers, which are a huge chunk of DPS. So if True can get in here,
I think this could be
and
very
break the
important.
ramp.
There is a counterattack here with for DominiC with Adepts, but these Lings are here, and there's 2 Lurkers. Lurkers won't move into Lurkers will move into position now, and the Lings are going to be cleaning this up. But still at home, there appears to be only 1 observer. So if this does get sniped, then it's not really a good day here for DominiC. However, there are no Hydras, I don't believe. Just Lurkers.
The longer the Truth sits here, the more precarious his position will get, because he is on max out. So
Right.
DominiC will be able to get more units while he will not be able to. But it looks like he will start pushing in here. He just morphed in a ton of Banelings. These cannons didn't finish. These pylons here are going to start to get target fired down. A Storrm goes down, which is kind of decent, but at the same time, it doesn't get the units that I think he really wanted to hit there.
I think he's just slowly whittling away, and now he's gonna make his move. He will walk into 1 storm, but Overlord, 1 immortal goes down. That is huge. This army is actually just from DominiC. It's just shredding. I mean, the army supply now is 104 to 32. I don't think there's any way DominiC is gonna be able to come back. This is great Lingbane play from True, and True is going to take it.
Good game from True.
That was a great game from True. I really liked the way that he utilized his lurker positioning. Very impressive, very Brood War-ish. Just having that very spread out and very important army positioning. But thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming out and checking this cast of True and DominiC. It has been wonderful. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe. Again, my name is Storrm. I am here with my co-caster, Snek. Have a nice evening.